got on the roll there, I think after the second or third. And then defensively, we got some good plays. I mean, Peraza at third. The long skid throw, ball, to his backhand, and he made some other plays. And then outfield, I mean, Cody covering some ground. Jorbit with the big homer, first one for him, so that's a big deal. And we win 1-0 because the bullpen shuts it down. So great win.
You mentioned that Bellinger catch there. Surprised when he got hit?
The ball in the gap, yeah. I mean, it was a changeup up. It was Hine, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Ball hit to right center. Had to cover some ground. I mean, he was running around a lot today, so he can get a lot of plays for me.
You mentioned working with JP as far. What allows you guys to be so
The love was great, and then the pitch calling was just superb with the the changeup to finish. Berger not chasing those sliders going to changeup, and I mean just what a great pitch call to be ahead of him there. So.
How would you describe the kind of run this rotation is on right now, the way you guys have all been pitching?
Yeah, we just got to keep going deep into games. Not taxing the bullpen, just getting through 6-7 innings, as many outs as we can, and just getting ahead of hitters and giving our offense a chance to get in the dugout and swing the bats.
How do you describe that?
I mean, what is it? 9 pitches today. I'm not sure how many pitches. Ate the last one. Ate the last 2 days. So, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Efficient, just getting ahead of guys and dominant. It was the same as last year. I mean, he's been so great for us.
Look, overall this season, you've had a lot of success. Just what do you think it is about your stuff that has allowed you to do as well as you've been doing?
Well, it's definitely been fun so far. It's obviously nice to create the momentum and to kind of keep it, sustain it, and hope ride the wave as long as it goes. There's going to be some bumps, and just preparing, just keep staying on top of the mechanics, the mindset, the pitch calling, just all those discussions internally. At any moment, things can go awry. So just want to make sure we're making those. Minimizing those mistakes as they go.
You didn't throw a lot of pitches over the last 2 days, but typically he doesn't go to guys 3 days in a row, especially this early in the season. What was that conversation like before the game and letting him know that you'd be available?
Yeah, being efficient sometimes is really good, but it also allows you to be available. And I think there's moments where you got to make sure that you feel like just because you didn't throw a ton of pitches doesn't necessarily mean that you're at 100%. And it was just one of those discussions where it's like, hey, unless you tell us anything different, like, what do you want to do? And I'm aware of the situation. I know that guys have been going back to backs. We've got a lot of guys that were possibly down today, and of course I wanted this. I wanted it. I mean, I didn't throw a lot of pitches, so I didn't really have an excuse. It was trying to go out there and to do my job, called upon and shut the game down, and. Thankfully it went that way, and just get back to the recovery circuit.
Overall, what do you think of what this team has been doing as the season has progressed? It seems like you guys have really found your roles and found your ways.
Yeah, it's just a collective effort. Everybody's rooting hard for each other. We want to make sure that we pick each other up. There's different days where, if a guy's down, we got to go 1+. We got to figure out ways to piece it together. We always want our starter to go 9. We're just there as backup. So when the game dictates situations, we just want to be prepared, and we'll give hopefully big high fives and hugs after the fact and say get him tomorrow.
You've seen Rodon now for a while. What stands out most when you watch him pitch?
Yeah, I love when he pitches. I really do, because I think a lot of times starters have to find a way to navigate, and he just has a grit and like a tenacity about himself. Like every time he goes, he just grinds and he finds a way. And next thing you know, the score is typically close. And even if it's not his best, he's deep into the game. He's throwing 100+ pitches. He's finding a way. He's fighting to get off the mound. He's like, don't take the ball, right? So, there's just a piece of knowing that when he goes out there, it's 110% his full effort. And sometimes it's not going to be the best, but you have everybody's respect because we know we're going to get out of you, and we'll pick you up if we can.
What's it been like watching Devin rebound from
tough start. And he's been pitching really well lately.
Devin's the man. I mean, he's obviously one of the best in the game. There's adjustment periods with anything. Like I said early in this interview, like you're just trying to minimize mistakes. Sometimes they are completely uncontrollable and they stack up and you're trying to stop that momentum, and sometimes they're minimal and we can make those mistakes quick, and sometimes we get lucky and sometimes we don't. So with all that being said, it's awesome to have him do his thing. I certainly wasn't worried about him for 1 second, and he's found his rhythm, he's controlling his game, his tempo, and he's just dominant.
Why do you think you've been so efficient? Like, that's the word you used, efficient. Like, I think you threw 17 pitches in 3 days. What's the key to doing that?
Well, they swing and get out quicker. I think it's really just about trying to get strike one as fast as possible. It's trying to get the 2 strikes as fast as possible and just try to put them away as quick as you can. On your route to do that, if they put the ball in play and they get out, which is what we hope, I don't necessarily want to try to get this 2 strikes every time. Like, I want to be able to be efficient to be able to come back the next day and to take load off the arm and to the body and make people breathe easier in the dugout and in the stands, the fans. So with all that being said, it's just about trying to command my pitches as best I can and staying on top of it. And it's a lot less stressful when you can just get them out quicker. And I'm very thankful for that.
Luke, earlier in the day, Cruz was placed on the injured list. He's optimistic that it'll only be the 15 days, but just what type of loss is that for the bullpen?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, he's the most energetic guy. There's no one I've ever played with who cheers harder than he does down there in the bullpen. Even when he's warming up, he's fist pumping, clapping. He's all about it. Or like, hey man, you still got to pitch, So he's going to be a loss for us for sure. But hopefully it's quick. He's recovering really well, it sounds like, and his attitude is uplifting always, so you never feel like you got to worry about him, but we'll fill the gap as best we can, and hopefully he just hits the circuit hard back there.
How uplifting is it to get a sweep on things like that?
Yeah, obviously a really momentous type deal. So we played a good series against the Mets, we play a good series against the Rangers. You just continue to try to win series, and if you can sweep, that's like a huge bonus. So when they have great starting pitching that they do and a great team and a lineup overall, they're all close games, right? Like, you got to be able to minimize your mistakes, have big moments like last night, and Vivas today, big moment off a great pitcher. So you just kind of stack those together, and when those guys are feeling confident and it's well-rounded and all cylinders are firing, whatever the saying is, but we're happy to go out there and piece together a lot more wins.
¿Qué te pasa por tu mente ahí ya cuando tuve que laburar? Finalmente se va.
Pensé muchas cosas. Dije, wow, por fin mi primer jonrón de Grandes Ligas. Y nada, contento que pueda hacerlo.
Yeah, so many things are going through my head right in that moment. I finally said like, oh, my first one finally. But just very excited and happy about finally connecting there.
Was the approach there, jumping on the first pitch, fastball, did we go up expecting the aggressive?
Esa era la estrategia, ¿verdad? Primer picheo, reta, buscar una reta, hacer swing a un picheo. Más o menos, ¿cuál era la estrategia?
Bueno, sé que mi primer turno me tiró recta y creo que eso es lo que estoy buscando yo, buscar una recta alta y estar preparado para ese picheo y hacerle buen contacto.
First at bat, he threw me a couple fastballs, so going back for that at bat, I was looking for something high in the zone and just being ready to hit there, really.
Does it make it extra special? First home run always matters a lot. Does it make it extra special? What's the difference in a 1-0 game?
Tú sabes que el primer jonrón en tu carrera, el primer jonrón en cualquier momento va a ser especial, pero en este caso es la diferencia del juego. ¿Se siente un poco más especial poder aportarle al equipo a la victoria?
Claro que sí, en verdad, hacer eso y apoyar a mi equipo para poder ganar, de verdad, eso lo que estoy tratando yo hacer, ayudar en lo que sea al equipo.
Yeah, it definitely means it's special, because you're helping a team win, and that's from day one. That's what I've been trying to do here, find a way to help this team win any way possible. So yeah.
Did you get the ball?
Y la bola.
Sí,
like,
sí, ya me la acaban de dar. Sí,
consiguieron.
sí.
Okay. Yeah, they were able to get it. Yes.
What are you going to do with that loss?
Y más o menos qué piensas hacer con ella.
No, llevarlo a Venezuela y dárselo a mi familia. Yeah.
I'm gonna take it back home to Venezuela and give it to my family.
Why is that important to you for your family?
Es importante. ¿Por qué es importante obsequiarle la bola a tu familia?
Porque primero fueron los que estuvieron conmigo desde pequeño, dándome apoyo y admiración a ellos. Sin ellos yo no estuviera aquí, en verdad.
They mean a lot to me, you know. They've been there for me since I was a little kid, you know. So throughout this journey, a lot of support throughout the years, and you know, they're important for me.
Were they watching in Venezuela? Do you think they saw it? Yes?
Todos los juegos, ven los juegos.
Every game. Every game.
So they saw it.
Yeah.
Have you checked your phone yet?
¿Le dio chance de ver el teléfono y ver algunos comentarios?
Vi un poquito el teléfono. No, primero que hice fue hablar a mi mamá. No he visto mucho.
I got to see a couple messages there. Not too many of them, but you know, the first thing I did was just call mom. You know, so.
What's the biggest thing you've learned so far about facing big league pitching these first few weeks?
¿Y qué es lo que más has aprendido, verdad, del proceso de lo que es enfrentar lanzadores de Grandes Ligas?
Bueno, hay mucha diferencia en verdad estar aquí, en verdad aquí los pichos son mejores, hay más talento, todo es muy diferente a Liga Menor, entonces creo que estoy aprendiendo todavía sobre eso y nada, estoy trabajando con eso.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare the level and the level of competition between the minor leagues and the big leagues, there's a big difference. These guys are really, really talented, very consistent executing pitches, and it's tough, you know. But you know, I'm putting in the work and I'm still learning, you know. So adjusting and doing what I can to keep improving.